What is going on, guys? Corrosive Bullet here, and we are back for more reveals. We got the full entire deck list for Giblet. I mentioned it in the last video with Shallot, but if you guys are aware of the channel, if you guys are longtime viewers, you guys know that I started this channel on Dragon Ball Legends content, and yeah, I'm glad that we're coming full circle. We stopped playing Legends, we switched to Fusion World, and now Legends is back here in Fusion World, and it's just like I'm a kid. I'm I'm 5 years younger basically. So no, I think this is cool. This is really cool. This is a very cool collab. I hope that they do more stuff like this in the future. But we shall see. So today we're going to talk about Giblet. Let's get into it. Giblet is green. He's a standard leader on the front side, nothing crazy on the front side. Then on his awakened side, he draws, and then he's got an activate main where once per turn you place one of your energy into its owner's drop. If you have 2 energy or less, add up to 2 battle cards from your drop to the owner's energy. Then if you would add a card to its owner's energy during this turn, place that card in the owner's drop instead. So basically, the way that this kind of works is you're maybe going up to 4 or 5 energy with this deck at most. You're probably not doing more than 5 energy with this deck. But basically, what's really cool about this is that your battle cards are going to allow you to ramp yourself back down, and then you use this ability to take yourself down to 2 to then get 2 cards from your drop back into your energy, and that energy goes back inactive, by the way. They don't go in rest. So the active energy comes back, and it allows you to extend your play lines just a little bit further, which is kind of cool. Then if you would add a card to the owner's energy during this turn, place that card into its owner's drop. This is going to make sense for a certain number of cards. But basically, there are certain cards that you can play that will allow you to like put cards in your opponent's energy off the board, which would go into their drop instead. So it's kind of a workaround for removal. It's not quite KO. It's not quite ramping your opponent. It's basically like to kind of, it's a weird workaround. Anyway, this deck will only make more sense. Like even just talking about this leader, it's such a strange effect, and especially for green and what green kind of wants to do. Without seeing the full package of what this deck is trying to do, it might seem like a little lackluster or maybe even confusing. So why don't we just kind of talk about the other cards first, and we'll kind of talk more about the leader as we kind of talk about the support. So first things first, we got Ginnan Man. This is the super combo for this deck. Then we got Golden Frieza, 3 cost, 25k power, 0 combo. Permanent skill, your turn. If you have less energy than your opponent, this card in a battle area gets 5,000 power. Then on play, if your leader is Giblet, draw a card, then add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. So this is cool. Even if you're not getting this permanent skill, you're still replacing this card in hand, and then you can still self-awaken, which I think is neat. But I mean, what's neat too is that a lot of the cards in this deck have this permanent effect where you gain extra power for having less energy than your opponent. More times than not, you are going to have less energy than your opponent, especially going into the late game. In the early game, it's going to be a bit more situational, but more times than not, for the majority of the game, you probably will have less energy than your opponent. So keep that in mind. Then we got 5 cost Goku Black, 35k power, 0 combo. Who's got crit? Then on play, place 2 of your energy into their owner's drop. Then choose up to 1 battle card in your opponent's battle area and KO it. So here's how this kind of works, right? So with Giblet, you're charging up to the amount of energy that you are going to play. You're going to charge up to the amount of energy for the card that you're going to play. You're almost never going to just free-handedly charge every single turn, right? There's probably going to be certain turns where maybe you don't charge at all because you don't have the specific cards that you want to play, right? So with this card, you're going to charge up to 5. You're going to play this guy. You're going to ramp yourself down to 3 energy, right? All your energy that you play by playing this, or have by playing this guy, is going to be in rest mode. So then After you play that, you KO your opponent's card. You then remove one of your dead energy because you're already at 3 energy from this point to go down to 2 energy. Your 2 energy is then going to, your 2 cost energy is then going to come from your drop back into your energy to take you up to 4 energy. And that 2 energy that you put into your energy is going to be an active. So you can play a 2 cost or a couple 1 costs or something to kind of facilitate, extend your play lines, which is cool. And then if any of those cards have effects that basically put a card into your opponent's energy, or even your own by that logic, you would place it in the drop instead. So that's kind of like the play line of what you kind of do here. So either way, Goku Black is still a pretty good card. Basic for 5 costs, KO anything, and then it's a 35k swinger. I think that's cool. Then we got Zamasu. 1 cost, 5k power, 5k combo. On play, if your leader is Giblet, look at 4 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 battle card with a cost of 2 to 5, and then add it to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of the owner's deck in a random order. Without going into what the other cards in this deck kind of do, if we're looking at what this deck is coming with, this hits everything except the super combo. So it can't find itself. It can't find your 1 cost extra. It can't find this 1 cost Raditz, but it can find everything else in the game. So for a searcher, this is actually really solid. Why this is only restricted to Giblet, I don't 100% know why. I feel like there's a lot of other green decks that would actually benefit from this type of searching capability. Like I feel like Namek Goku, like the Namek Goku searchers are a little limiting. So having something like this would have been good for Namek Goku. Green Vegeta is getting a good searcher, so I don't necessarily care about that so much. Even like would the new Broly leader actually benefit from this in any way? This would find 4 cost Brolys. This would find your some of your extra cards that I guess that you would use, like Planet Vampa and stuff. Like, but it'd need to be a battle card, so Planet Vampa. This probably wouldn't work well in Broly. This could probably benefit Cell to an extent. This could probably benefit who was the set 3 green leader? I mean, this could benefit the starter deck Broly. This could benefit set 3 starter in green was, oh my god, why can't I think of it? Holy crap. Who was the set 3 leader? I don't remember. Let me know in the comments. Roast me in the comments, because I can't believe I'm forgetting. But yeah, no, I think there's like 1 or 2 other decks that could benefit from this if it wasn't leader locked. I can understand to an extent why it's leader locked, but at the same time, I don't know. Then we have Super Saiyan God Giblet, 3 cost, 20k power, 10k combo, who's a blocker. On play, if your leader is Giblet, add up to 2 cards from your life to your hand. So I think that's kind of cool. For 3 energy, if you're not awakened by that point, you can use this to awaken. It's basically a draw 2 for the most part. And then he's a 20k blocker. So he's at least going to slow down your opponent once. This is a little bit harder to remove. 3 costs itself can be removed quite easily. 20k power is quite easily removable, but I mean, it's better than Jocko in the Shallot deck, so I mean, that's something, right? And then he's 10k combo, which is really good too. So I think this is fine. It's not a bad card. Then we have Janemba, 2 costs, 15k power, 10k combo. Permanent skill, your turn. If you have less energy than your opponent, this card gets 10,000 power, and then it's a self-awakener. Perfectly fine for what it is. Stat line's great. Basically, this is a great card to play after you use your leader ability, because you're getting 2 energy back every turn with your leader ability. So playing this for 2 energy off of your leader ability is actually pretty cool. And then he's a 10k combo. Stat line's pretty fine. I have no issues with that. I don't know why I backed out there. Then we have Shallot. So for those who don't know Dragon Ball Legends, this is the fusion of Shallot and Giblet. I say Giblet and Giblet back and forth. I don't know why I'm doing that. I guess it's tomato, right? But if you don't know anything about Legends, this is basically Shallot and Giblet are brothers. They're twins. And this is their Metamoran fusion dance combination. So this is more or less the crux of the deck, I think. This is the card that you're going to be this is like the main staple. This is the boss card. So 4 cost, 30k power, 5k combo. He gains 5,000 power if you have less energy than your opponent. On play, you place 2 of your energy into your drop. If your leader is Giblet, you draw a card. So you replace this card. You basically replace this card in your hand, and then you add up to 1 battle card from your drop into your energy. So this basically allows you to go down to 2, right? You go down to 2 with this guy. He then replaces himself, and then you add an active energy into your energy pool, which puts you at 3. You use leader ability to take one of your dead energy, remove it to go down to 2, and then you're replacing it with a 2 more active energy. So you're at 3 active energy again, which allows you to play any of your 3 costs. So like the Golden Frieza, you could play off of that. So I think that's really cool. I think the way that this system is kind of working is neat. The ending aspect of the leader ability is basically only if you play a card that adds something to your energy, right? Or your opponent's energy. So you want to play your battle cards first before you activate the leader ability, so you don't get the negative side effects of doing it. But the negative side effects is meant to be as a balancing aspect. So no, this is a good card. My only critique with this card is that this is a very villain-oriented deck. This is Giblet. I believe this is Giblet from when he was still like a antagonist, a bad guy in the main game, in the main story. So I feel like I would have preferred it if this card was in the Shallot deck with like different abilities, but I mean, I don't hate it. I mean, Shallot's cool. So then we got Super Baby 2 cost, 20k power, 5k combo. On play, at Self Awakens. Then when attacking, you draw a card and then discard a card. So I mean, basically, you're playing this guy to try to get yourself awakened. You're going to then cycle cards out, and then you're going to use leader ability, right? To some extent. The hand cycling's fine. This is potentially a draw 2 with some hand cycling. But you're removing a card, so it's still +1 no matter what. So it's fine. It's not a great card. It's not a bad card. It's okay. Then we have Cell, 3 cost, 25k power, 5k combo. On play, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. When attacking, if you have less energy than your opponent, choose up to 1 card with a cost of 4 or less in your opponent's battle area and add it to its owner's energy in rest mode. So what I like about this card is that if you play Giblet, right? You play Giblet, you go ramp down to 2 to then ramp yourself back up to 3. Then you use the leader ability to take yourself back up to 3 active energy. You play this card to take a 4 cost and put it into your opponent's energy in rest mode. But because you used your leader ability to get the active energy to then play this guy, instead of going into your opponent's energy, it goes into your opponent's drop. So that's where I was kind of talking about the confusion of like how the lead ability works. So this is cool. Like, this is really cool tech in terms of like what this is doing. And then weirdly enough, this card is generic enough where you could throw this in your Cell deck. Cell could use this card. Do you want to ramp your opponent up? But it's if you have less energy than your opponent. So like more than likely you're not going to have less energy than your opponent when you're playing the Cell deck. But if you're going second, and the energy marker obviously doesn't count as energy. If you're going second, and you play this card, like, I mean, like, you could get use out of this. You could run this at 2 of in Cell and have it work for you. Who self-awakens Cell too, by the way. So yeah, I mean, I think that's cool. I think that there's some generic Cell support in this. You're just not going to run this every time, but that's neat. I like that. Then we have Turles. Turles is a 4-cost, 30k power, 5k combo. On play, place 2 of your energy into your owner's drop. If your leader is Giblet, this card gains double strike for the turn, then add up to 1 battle card from your drop to your energy. So I think that's cool. He utilizes your leader effect. He ramps you down to 2 on turn 4. Or even turn 5. You can play this on turn 5 if you wanted to. Actually, no, you probably don't want to play this on turn 5. You probably want to stay at 4 energy when you play this guy, because he's gonna ramp you. If you're at 5 and you play this, he's gonna ramp you to 5 again. So you don't want that. You don't want that. You want to stay at 4 energy when you play this guy. But he's a double striker, and then you go back up to 3 energy again. So you're utilizing like the Cell once again. So there's so much synergy. I like what this deck is doing, because there's a lot of synergy within this deck. I think this Giblet deck is actually going to be really good. Then we got Hit. 2 cost, 20k power, 5k combo, self-awakens. Then when attacking, if you have less energy than your opponent, choose all battle cards with a cost of 1 or less in your opponent battle area and KO them. This is 100% a card designed specifically around Halo Coup, which I think is really, really funny. But I mean, all 1 cost is pretty good. This is good in the mirror against Broly. It allows you to remove all the 1 cost that Broly has, the Chilai, the Ba, the Paragus Searcher, which is really cool. It works against Halo Coup. I'm trying to think of any other decks that like really utilize 1 costs. Not really. I mean, outside of those 2 decks, there's not like a whole lot that really uses. I mean, Namek Goku. So I mean, this card's actually fantastic in the mirror, and it's really good against Halo Coup. So I mean, this is a fine card. I'm fine with this, and it's generic enough where depending on the builds of certain decks, like right now, I'm testing a Gohan deck that utilizes the new support while also staying at around 5 energy. So maybe this guy would actually be really decent in that Gohan deck, right? We'll have to see, but I think that's pretty cool. Then we got a Frieza, 3 cost, 20k power, 10k combo, self-awakens on play, and then when attacking, if you have less energy than your opponent, you can choose 1 battle card with a cost of 2 or less in your opponent's battle area and KO it. Again, it's another low-end card that you can play. It's another low-end card that you can play in like low-end green decks and have it work in your favor. It's generic enough where you can make that work for you. And it's a self-awakener. In this deck in particular, this card's probably pretty decent. Again, this deck needs 2 and 3 cost cards to utilize off of the energy that you play after utilizing the leader effect. So these types of effects and these types of cards, I think, are fine. I have no issues against these cards. Broly BR, 4 costs, 25k power, 10k combo. When attacking, once per turn, choose up to 1 battle card with a cost of 2 or less in your opponent's battle area and KO it. Then activate main. Once per turn, you place 1 energy in your opponent's drop, and then if your leader is Giblet, switch this card to active mode. So again, it's another card that allows you to utilize the leader ability of Giblet. It's probably not the best of the 4 cost cards. Like, this is probably like a decent backup card. Still solid in its own right, but yeah, like it's more standard than anything else. Like, I don't hate this card, but the other 4 costs that we've seen are actually a little better than this, I think, in my opinion. That being said, can we thank the heavens that this is not usable in the Broly deck? Broly does not need another 4 cost card that's able to swing twice while KOing 2 costs and stuff. Like, thank God. Then we got 4 cost Majin Buu Kid, 4 cost, 25k power, 5k combo. On play, you discard 1 card from your hand and place 2 of your energy into the drop. You then heal. Then you can add up to 1 battle card from your drop to the owner's energy. So this is a very costly effect, but the energy effect itself the energy itself is not bad. The energy effect is not bad whatsoever. Because you want to be down to 2 energy. You want to be at 2 energy when you activate the ability, right? You want to be at, that like 3 to 4, maybe 5 range at all times. So the discard 1 to heal, I think that's balanced. I think that's fine. And then the fact that he's only 5k combo and 25k power swinging, like that's cool. Like, I'll take healing. And you get 4 of in the deck here for this because it's a common. That's awesome. Then we got the last battle card, which is Raditz. 1 cost, 5k power, 10k combo. If your leader is Giblet, you can add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. And then activate main once per turn. Place 1 of your energy into its owner's drop. And then this card in a battle area gets 15,000 power for the turn. So basically, you are going to utilize this. Like, maybe, I don't know, maybe on occasion you go to 6, right? Maybe on occasion you go to 6, you play a battle card that removes 2. You play this guy for 1 to then remove an energy, take yourself back down to 3. Like, this card's okay. Like, it's not great. Like, maybe on occasion you go to 6. Maybe on occasion, I don't know. Maybe on occasion you do, like, you play this just for an extra swing when you have 1 open energy. I don't know. I'm indifferent on this card, personally. Excuse me. Then we get into the extra cards. So you have Saiyan, Born of Fury and Hate. 1 cost. Activate battle. Your card that is in a battle gets 15,000 power for the battle. Then if your leader is Giblet and you have less energy than your opponent, that card gets 1,000 or 10,000 power for the battle. So it's basically this card's version of Gigantic Meteor. And I think for this deck, this is great because you're not really going to 6. So running Gigantic Meteor in this deck doesn't feel as good. This basically is like a nice, this card basically allows you to have that option. And then Twisted Morality, 2 cost. Activate main, place 1 of your energy into its owner's drop. If your leader is Giblet, choose up to 1 battle card with a cost of 4 or less and up to 1 battle card with a cost of 3 or less and KO them. So I think that's cool. For 2 energy, you're ramping yourself back down. But you're removing 2 cards on board, one of them being a 4 cost, and you're basically paying above cost to get that ability. This card's great too. I don't have an issue with this card. So yeah, that's going to do it for the Giblet deck. I feel like in terms of support, I think this deck is just a bit better than what the Shallot deck is offering. Just because I feel like the card support's a bit better and it's not as restrictive. That said, how many SRs are in this deck? 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it the same amount? It's the same amount as the Shallot deck. So it's going to be 60 cards. You're getting 2 of this, 2 of this, 2 of this. And then, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. There it is. In terms of things that I would remove in this deck, is there anything that is worthwhile to remove? Maybe you don't necessarily need 4 of these babies. Maybe you don't need... Maybe you don't... I mean, this is 10k combo. I think you run 10k combo in this no matter what. Maybe you don't need a full playset of this Raditz. But again, you want to find stuff that maybe doesn't necessarily ramp you down, but like stuff that you can play for 2 or 3 energy just outside of when you get that energy back off leader ability. I feel like that's more or less what you kind of want to add into this deck. Just good 2 or 3 costs that will allow you to kind of do the thing that you want to do, right? Like, I don't think 3 cost Nappa would do well in this. Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll have to see. But yeah, that's going to do it for this. Let me know what you guys think. Oh, and then obviously that's the parallel art from the bonus packs that you can get in this. So yeah, that's pretty cool. But let me know what you guys think down below. What do you guys think of the Shallot deck? Again, just like with the Shallot or the Giblet deck. Let me know what you guys think. Similar to the Shallot deck, do you guys think before we get the ban list in July, Do you think this is going to be enough to kind of shake up the meta? Do you think there's a little... Do you think these decks are going to be able to stand out? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Like and subscribe for more Fusion World content, and I'll see you guys all in the next Fusion World video. Peace.